Wednesday night, we're all in sight. 9 o'clock, it's shining bright. Turn the dial and feel the might. Just enough Heshy takes flight. Woo! Laughs and wisdom side by side. Heshy show won't be denied. Tune in live and ride the tide. Feel the rush and feel the pride. It's just enough Heshy. Wanna vote for Heshy? It's just enough Heshy. Join the crowd, it's messy.
And hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Just Enough Heshy show. And we have a special Heshy Tischler on the screen because why, ladies and gentlemen? Heshy Tischler is in a place much warmer. And Heshy, it's good to be with you once again. And I finally got a chance to sit in your chair, maybe for the first and only time. Well, maybe we'll try this again next week.
Tom, you didn't open up the show correctly. You say hello, everybody, or
I would have done
welcome
that, but you always complain every time I want to go, hello, everybody, welcome to this week's edition of the Just Enough Heshy show. And I can hold that note a lot longer than you.
But I gave you the shot and you blew it.
No, I didn't. I said, hello, welcome to this week's Just Enough Heshy show. So
That's not the way okay, okay.
Well, listen, you're here, considering for those that may not know this, we tried this the first time and we had a lot of technical difficulties. So hopefully we'll do a better job than the New York Jets have done with quarterback play this year. So Heshy,
I got that. That's for sure. I'm the New York Giants. But I want everybody to know, Tom, that I'm in Miami. Linda wasn't doing so well, and I took her away to my brother gave me his place with a private pool. She wouldn't get into the pool. I had to bribe her for $1,000 to come into the pool. You believe it? The problem is I'm broke. She's not getting the money.
I see the joke. It was Monopoly money. That's what it was. I got you.
It was no money. I don't even have that. But as you know, I hurt myself. I fell down on a pole, and by the job, whatever, I busted my rib a little bit and my leg, but I'm getting better. And you won't believe what happened.
What?
I finally found a couple of days to sneak away to Florida for the next 2 weeks.
Right.
And as we got on the plane, my partner says there's a 3-family house. The guy's in big trouble. The people are vacated. They only want you. I said, I'm going away. And he offered me crazy money. I said, I'm going on a plane. I'm actually at the airport.
Right.
Heshy, you got to come back. I said, I can't come back. So he sends me all the paperwork and the plans. And the client calls me up crying, I'm paying. He sends Penny the money. And he says, I'm going to send you a ticket. I said, first class? He said, no. I said, okay. But he picked me up from the airport. They brought me back to the airport. I came in early. I left 4 o'clock Monday morning. And what do you think happened? I passed inspection. I got the 3 people into the house. I stopped paying the fire guards. I got rid of them. And I beat the city at their own game. But that's what I do, Tom. That's what I do, even when I'm broken with a broken rib. Okay, and by the way, when I was coming back, I was feeling a little better, and I got an exit seat. This nice stewardess, Barbara, real cool chick.
Yes.
She saw I was a little bit in pain, and I saw I was by the exit seat. She kept coming over to me, so I told her I'm going to make fun of her on the show because she was starting to help me to my seat. I said, listen, I'm broken.
Because she didn't want an autograph from you?
There were 2 other people on the plane that did know me. And by the way, while I'm down here in Florida, in the supermarket, people are pulling me over, the synagogue. Matter of fact, I want to tell you that I wanted to talk to you about that young girl that, because I met some of the relatives that got in trouble with, that killed the people on Ocean Parkway. But,
Yes, we spoke about that a few times in the show. Absolutely.
So I want to talk about what the feelings of the people, what my audience people believe. I mean, she got 3 to 9 years.
I saw
So does she really serve the year? Can't she get on an early parole? Will jail really make her better? Is that the reason?
I think that's a question we're going to certainly find out. I do want to introduce our listeners that are about to join us here in a matter of seconds on the radio, Heshy, for the Talkline Radio Network. Also, hello to you. I want to say hello to our flagship WSNR 620 AM, the legendary rock and roll radio station, formerly as 102.7 FM WNEW, where Heshy is right now, WJPR 1640 AM in beautiful Miami, Florida, where they did elect a Democrat for mayor. But welcome to this week's edition of the Just Enough
By
Heshy Show.
by the way, when I got home on Monday, it was like 30 degrees. I left 80 degrees, and then I came back here to 80 degrees. Oh, I love Miami. I don't know. I can never leave New York because I'm loyal to New York. But if only New York had this weather, New York would be like, without Mamdani, of course, Mamdani,
Well,
then New York
apparently
would be.
they elected though a Democrat liberal that's pushing for affordable housing and wants a change. So I mean, Miami may turn into New York City after they
I
elected a
don't know. I don't
Democrat.
know. This Miami people really have control. They're in good shape. I'm
They
checking out
just
their
elected a
properties.
Democrat. I'll tell you what, every single election this year that's been a special election or an open seat that was held by Republicans, the Democrats won all of them. I mean,
The Republicans are not coming. The Republicans are not coming out to vote. I see the numbers. How does somebody win 9,000 to 5,000 votes? It doesn't work like that.
Well, your
Even
race at the beginning of the year in the special election with that guy named Felder. I mean, we had 5,000 people vote in the race, and I mean, he got 4,000 votes. I mean,
I
right
know.
now it could be a very bad year coming up for the Republicans. Just every race, Georgia, the Democrats flipped the seat. Pennsylvania at the beginning of the year. I mean, it's
I know.
place after
I know.
place. I
Well,
mean,
Tom, I'm still considering. I'm doing a lot of legal research on my run to against Carmen Yeager, who I hate very much. And people are telling me he hates me. You should hate me, Carmen, because you're a bad man, and I don't let you get away with all your little stupidity and trickery. He gets on X and he makes announcements. Who cares? But anyways, we're gonna start our show. We have a lot to talk
we do.
about.
Yes, we do.
I want to do a shout out to my beautiful granddaughter Mira Nava,
Favorite part of the show.
uh, and Leila Tamar.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, my grandson Yeshua, my other
Mm-hmm.
grandson Benjamin Eliyahu, and my granddaughter Ahuva, who just got very not sick or very sick, and she's going to get better.
Hope she feels
Only
better.
be, only because her father gives her these sugarless lollipops. They make you sick. You need a real lollipop. I keep teaching it to my son. And then, of course, my beautiful new granddaughter, Yael, who's coming down to Florida this weekend to visit me here. So I'm going
Excellent.
to have a good weekend. Me, Linda, and Yaakov, and Rayleigh, my big granddaughter.
And how about the
Anyways,
producer stopping by? Maybe you'll give him a first class ticket to show up for a couple days or
oh, the
no?
producer has had so many vacations this year. I don't know if I want to give him
I
one
thought
more.
it was the holidays, Hanukkah coming up. I thought maybe an
I
extra
know.
gift he would get.
I
He
am
does control the
away.
microphone of us each and every week on the show this year. I thought that's what I heard from inside sources. Told me that the producer might be getting a first class ticket from you, but no,
Well,
not at all.
Tom, inside sources is not working too well for you lately. But
Well, it's not worked for a lot of people, obviously.
I will be leaving this house, and I will be in the Eden Rock Hotel. So anybody wants to come by and have a chat, I'm going to be hanging out there from the 18th to the 21st. So if you
Yeah,
want to
nice.
chat with me, come by, and I'm open. You know me, I'm always speaking. Like today, I spoke in the synagogue, in the supermarket. They gave me a free pizza, and I like 10 people around me
But
talking to
was it
me.
as good as Amnon's? All right, was that
No,
pizza as good as
no.
Amnon's? I want to hear it.
No, no, no. They even closed Amnon's, and I helped him get it open. So I want you to know, my city, I'm going to fight for. And people are saying, "Why, Mandani? Why are you doing about it? When are you going to run again?" People are waiting for me to run. Hey, I gave you 4 shots. You don't want me. You don't come help me. I
I
don't know
know.
what to tell you. I'm not making any excuses, Tom. I'm not blaming anybody. I know what my duties are. I know I could do great. I know some of my friends met Lenny Marks and they said he's a nice guy. He's not a nice guy. Simcha Felder has been not doing
You know
anything
what?
for
I'm
the.
tired of hearing about, everybody's a nice guy in politics. I've heard this line, Heshy, for almost 20 years. I've been doing this since I'm a kid. It's always, oh, they're a nice guy. He's a nice guy. She's a nice guy. But you know what that means, Heshy? That means that they're not doing a good job.
They're
That
not
means that
doing
they're not
anything.
helping or doing what they're
You
supposed
are
to be
you
elected
are
for.
you are right, Tom. They're not only not doing it, they're not taking calls. A whole 3 blocks getting parking tickets.
Yes.
The DOB and the DEP are running around Brooklyn. We had an inspection on a building with 11 inspectors in one week. One inspector
Right.
yesterday got into the building without my permission, and he wrote a violation. I said, "Why did you write the violation?" He says, "Oh, they sent me down here. I had to write something stupid." I said, "But Inspector, we had the permit. I didn't see it." I said, "But," he said, "Go to court to fight it." I said, I said, "You should be in control." He says, "They're not controlling us. We have to come back with our quotas." And he seemed like a nice guy. The city
You
agencies
answered
are
your own
coming,
question. That's what they do all the time. It's all about quotas. It make up something
but
and
it's
then
not
come
only a
back
quota.
and create revenue. You know that.
But what you're doing to the people is you're making them hire somebody like me. It's costing them a fortune. It's costing them shutdown. They have to pay civil penalties till if they want to continue working. And I have a guy whose job is stopped for 6 months and a synagogue.
Hmm.
And we did everything they told us. We redid it. We changed it again. Now they said resubmit all the documents. We did. 2 weeks later, it's still not open because they're busy. Busy? You're not busy to stop a job. These agencies, whatever. Anyways, I gave my shout outs. I want to give a quote. Do you
All right,
mind?
let's hear it.
Here's my quote, and it's very important because it's in reference to what's going on with us.
All right.
We are no we no I'm sorry. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Just be one. There's a moment in every life when the question of goodness rises like a tide. We speak
A
of
rising tide will
virtue,
always lift all boats. Yep.
right? But we speak of virtue. We debate morality. We point towards ideal images of what humanity should be. But actuality, we don't carry out some of this stuff. I'm telling you, don't waste time doing this stuff. It's time to show us what a good man to be. I've tried to show what a good man to be is, and I'm not trying to pitch you on any that I'm better. But look, you've avoided me. People in Florida are saying, "Oh, you're not going to run again." People in New York, "Are you not going to run again?" The truth of the matter is, I do want to run for the assembly, but the Republicans are saying that I can't. They're telling me to
Well, I
take a
think it's
break.
also because the Republicans want to back Kalman Yeager. I mean, listen, the
I
conservatives and the
I am not going to
Republicans,
allow
the
that, Tom.
conservatives wag the dog. Listen, I know you don't want to say it. You're a party man, but the Republicans want to back Kalman, and the conservatives are backing Kalman, and that puts you in a bind than anybody else. So they're trying to
Well,
basically
well,
push you to
I
the
am,
side. I mean,
I
let's
am,
call a
I
spade a
am
spade.
now, I am now on the executive committee. So I'm gonna do whatever it takes in my power. And I'm gonna show you what one guy could do to beat an entire committee. Till now, I had to fight the executive committee and pitch them. I am an actual member of this committee, and I'm gonna show you how if everybody votes for Common, and I'm the only one, I'm gonna show you how one man can stop
Well, we're
them
going to
doing
find
something
that
wrong.
out. I'll tell you what, we're going to find that out. And by the way, if you
You
want to
will.
follow Heshy, check him out on YouTube. Give him a sub at Just Enough Heshy 7005. Follow him on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok because we have people out there that watch this show and they haven't hit the notification to subscribe so that way they can find out what Heshy's doing on a daily basis and on a weekly
Right.
basis with our shows.
And you can watch my little TikTok videos, my
TikTok, Heshy's
YouTube
very
video,
big on TikTok. Heshy is
and
really, that's probably your
Instagram.
biggest place, actually. I tell you what, I watch
Can
you on
I can
TikTok all
I
the
can
time.
I tell you a funny story?
Tell me anything you want, Heshy. It's the Just Enough
So
Heshy
I
show.
I I went shopping and I bought a lot of food and I told Linda we're gonna just sit in the house, be by the pool, chill out and recuperate.
Right.
Uh, Linda last night said Linda her sisters were around. Let's go pick up my sisters and take them out to dinner.
Hmm.
I found this cute little sandwich shop, very cute. It's called AMP in Miami, and they make these wonderful sandwiches. I mean, they didn't make the corned beef the way I like it, but they had beautiful couscous. And this girl, I forgot her name, Svata, very cute girl. She forgot to put mustard in my sandwich. I'm very upset about it.
I'm sorry.
How could you eat corned beef without mustard? Is there something wrong with her? Anyways, so I met the chef, and we went out to we went to this sandwich place for lunch. And
Hmm.
while I was there, I said instead of driving back an hour and a half, let's hang out for dinner. So I found this very fancy, elegant restaurant, and I said, Linda, I'm going to spend some money on you. And then everybody went their own way. And we get to the restaurant, and the hostess keeps us standing there for 20 minutes.
Hmm.
Finally, she comes over to me. She says to me and Linda, "So, where do you want to be near? Do you want to be near the salad bar? Do you want to be near the windows?" And Linda answers right away, "I want to be near a waiter." I thought that was the coolest joke. I laughed.
I
And I
was
said,
laughing
that's
at it.
the.
The producer was laughing. He was telling me it's the funniest joke you've ever said here on
So
the
why
air. I
is he
mean, that
playing the laugh track?
in fact, no, I actually don't want to defend the producer on this because he almost fell off his chair on how funny that joke was. He literally was about to push the laugh track button, but there you go. He was laughing. He literally
He pushed
fell
it too
off his
late,
chair,
Tom.
and he thought that's how funny that joke was. I mean, that's
Tom,
literally
I
that's how it
thought,
goes.
Tom, that was real funny. I practiced that joke all day
Jerry
today.
Seinfeld has nothing on you. Listen, that's what the producer's telling me right now. The producer's telling me that you are more funny than Don Rickles, Jerry Seinfeld, Jerry Stiller. I mean, that's
Wow,
how good
wow.
that joke
Okay,
was.
Tom, we got a long show to do, so
No, we
let's.
don't. We're live, Heshy. Let's go. Come on. I mean, you
Uh,
got a lot in your arsenal to talk about tonight. You
First
know.
thing I want to tell you is I want to talk about the subjects you want to talk about, and I do want to talk about
Oh, I want to talk
Mr.
about Ina Vernikov because I got a lot to say on that. I know you do as well, apparently.
I do, but do you know that? Yeah, I do want to talk about how she got off the hook with all of that crazy stuff, But
Terrible.
when I was in the airport, I met two girls from Texas,
Mm-hmm.
accountants, and I gave them my card. They checked me out, young girls, and
Right.
I think they were looking to pick me up. I told them I'm married, whatever, But I got into the first class lounge. I snuck in somehow, and they came over to me, and I showed them my card, whatever, and
Right.
they let me stay there. And I just thought I'd be quiet, sit there, get a drink because nothing was kosher. And one or two people recognized me. I started talking about politics in New York, and a lot of crowd came around me, even in the first class lounge. I had to entertain people and talk to people, but it was very interesting. But now, here's my subject I want to talk about. You know that Mr. Mamdani is going to make free grocery stores, right?
Yes, we've talked about this many times on the show over the
So
past several months. Yes.
now the two commies, AOC and Mr. Mamdani, are fighting who should get the profits of the
But wait a
of
minute.
this
I thought it
food.
was to be a free grocery store. So wouldn't that
But
mean,
but
Heshy, there's no
this
profit?
No, because these grocery stores, they'll be giving away the food free, but they're going to have to be buying it at double the price. And they
Hmm.
want one place is going to be buying it from Bandani's friend, and AOC has a bunch of places where she wants it at one of her places. So
Right.
these two commies are going to be making profits on their freebies.
Oh,
You know,
and were we not surprised on that?
no, and this is not inside sources. This is a fact, and
Right.
these are memos. And this is what I don't understand. You people, they can promise you stuff. I never promise. I tell you what I'm
No.
going to get done, and I do it. Here are people that make promises that can't carry it out. You knew he couldn't carry it out, and you still voted for him. I don't know, Tom, but
Yeah,
this is
listen, you know what? I hate to say it. It's the term philosophy of the stupid. And people complain. And guess what? This is what you got. You got now what you wanted. And when you
I'm
don't
going.
like these decisions, this is what's going to happen, Commies. We've
No,
talked
but
about
I
this on the show
disagree.
for weeks.
I'm going to be looking into these sales. I'm going to try it to get a FOIL request to see where they purchase all this. I
Right?
want to see who's getting the profits. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to hire a private investigator just for the stores to see if AOC and Mandani is going to make this
Maybe you'll
money.
get an inspection for one of these grocery stores. Who knows? Maybe you'll make some business off this.
No, never, never, never. By the way,
Oh,
your
come on.
friend,
Never say never, Heshy. They say never say never all the time.
your friend Memdani is giving up his apartment. Can you think I can get?
Now, I was going to ask you about that, Heshy, since Mr. Memdani's moving out of his rent stabilized apartment in Queens and he's coming over to Gracie Mansion. I was thinking maybe you would want to change places with him and maybe that's where you're going to be going next.
So his 2,300 a month rent. He's so cheap that for 4 years he's not going to want to pay 80 grand, which is not even one third of his salary for rent, just in case if he loses, he needs a place to go. So what he's going to do is he's going to give his rent. Nobody gives up their rent control apartment. What he's going to do is give it to a friend or somebody else, or sublease it, and in 4 years or 8 years go back to it. So don't think when you see the big sign he's giving up his rent controlled apartment. I wish he would. And if you would, I want it. Why can't you give it to me, or we'll give
So
you
how
more
does
money?
that process work then? So you make an interesting point that he's going to be in Gracie Mansion for a minimum of 4 years. So what happens now with that apartment?
So either he pays the rent, or if he gives it up, he has to sublet it out or have somebody else pay. But he said he's giving it up, which means he's giving it over to somebody else. Now, if he gives it over, unless he gives it back to the landlord, then the rent control apartment it
I don't
could
think he's
lose.
giving it back to the landlord. I don't think that that's
Right.
going to
So, but
happen there.
if he doesn't give it to somebody else, then the landlord gets it back, and it could go out of rent control status and into free market. Now, do you think Mr. Mamdani is going to let that happen? I doubt it.
No, no.
He's going to give it to one of his friends who pays, $8,000. But they pay $8,000 a month rent for a
Right.
three-bedroom apartment in the city. He's going to give away his $2,300 a month apartment for sure to a friend or to a relative or
How about
somebody.
a
But
donor? How about a supporter? Somebody that worked on his campaign? I mean, just throwing that out there. I mean, not to say that that's not out of the
but I want to
realm.
show you, Mr. Communist, that is not. He's a self. He's a Jew hating. I believe he's still a hating Jew, and he's
Oh, of
self-important
course. Listen, the
person.
media gave him so much cover on that. I mean, that's just to
Yeah.
me a foregone
Well,
conclusion.
I'm hoping he doesn't mess up the city. I know what he's doing is wrong. And also, you know what this idiot is doing?
But
He's going to allow the 10 cities of the homeless to stay open and we cannot touch them. So
which is a horrible idea
they're
because
going to
that's
come
actually
to
one of the
broad.
things that
No,
Adams has done a good job in getting rid of those encampments, and that's a twofold. It's a problem because number one,
but
yeah,
people think, Tom, they're having an encampment. Okay, they sleep on the street at night and they go away. No, they defecate on the streets. They eat and
exactly.
spit their foods
It's
on the
actually and it's
streets.
actually a problem for the homeless people themselves because what happens with, like you said, with these encampments is that they ruin the community. They ruin themselves and they don't get the help that they need. But the city has no interest in that, and that's actually one of the things I think that Adams has done a better job on of late because you see less encampments out. But Mamdani's going to let them be all over the place. And guess what, Heshy? I got news for you. They're going to probably be in places that did not vote for Mamdani.
I know, and the problem is I believe they're going to come to my neighborhood, not even in my neighborhood. We're not going to let that, but they're going to be on the outskirts of the neighborhood where we can't do anything. And these police officers, they're going to enforce not touching these homeless people, and they're going to
Well,
filthy up.
actually, they're going to be not enforcing that rule because now these police officers who know already their hands are tied behind their backs in the job that they have and the little that they can do. Yeah, they're going to definitely do absolutely nothing. There was an issue in Sheepshead Bay with this where they had encampments by the Bell Parkway when you go over right
Yeah,
off like Knapp Street, and they got rid of them and they brought them back. And there's
yeah,
somebody by
but
86th Street. Yep,
Tom,
it's a problem.
but what we're losing focus is it's not only that the defecation and stuff. A lot of stores in the morning, before they open up, they get their bread deliveries, potato
Yep.
deliveries.
I see it
They get
myself. I'm an overnight worker. Yes,
right.
I see bread
So
deliveries. I see
before the
truck
owners,
deliveries.
but
Yep.
they come 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
Yep.
So a lot of times they get dropped off and left in the front. These
Yes.
people go and rob these stores, and these people don't have the food waiting for them, and
Right.
that's the problem.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Well, the main thing is to sum it up. It's a quality of life issue. I think that's the
Yeah.
big thing. And Mr. Memdani is not interested in improving the quality of life, certainly of the people that overwhelmingly did not vote for him.
Yeah. Well, all I can tell you is that I'm very upset. I know we're going to be ready to. I know we're going to be ready to go soon.
Now, will
He's going
you
to be.
be there at Mr. Memdani's inauguration on January 1st? Will you be there? Inside sources have wondered if you will actually be showing up.
I'm really thinking of going.
Are you
I'm
thinking
really
about it?
thinking.
I
I
thought
mean,
you
I mean,
would.
Ina Vernikova invited the Prime Minister of Israel. Why can't she invite me? That's your buddy.
Well,
Another
Ina,
one.
I'm glad you brought up Ina Vernikova, somebody that we know because we've actually worked either campaigns or you was run against Ina Vernikova. I heard that she was censored by the city council earlier this week, right?
No,
If I'm
no,
not
no.
mistaken.
She was supposed to be censured, and for bringing that gun to the protest, for endangering people's
Yes.
lives. And what happened at the end of the day? They didn't censure her. I mean, I don't know how she skirted the matter.
That's a great question. I was going to wonder what you had to say on that because apparently I know that they had an ethics committee meeting on yesterday, which was a big topic.
Um, I want you to know that I, I don't know. I don't know how she keep. I know she thinks she's going to be lieutenant governor.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because she came out yesterday without mentioning names and basically said people should not run in a primary against her preferred candidate and the Brooklyn GOP's preferred candidate, which is a kiss of death. We know that. Ask the guy that was the chairman of the party who lost to a friend, George Sarantopoulos. But when she came out and posted on Facebook the other day saying basically that the guy that's now announced his run for governor, Bruce Blakeman, won't even win his home county and basically discouraging him from running, I don't think people that just endorsed liberal Democrat Andrew Cuomo for mayor should be talking about who should run and who should not run.
Right. You know, she doesn't back anybody properly.
She just backed a liberal Andrew Cuomo, a murderer. She just backed a murderer, a cold-blooded murderer who killed all those people in the nursing homes, and everybody bought in to that Ponzi scheme of a candidate.
But
But
who
she,
else is she backing right now? I think she's backing Kalman Yeager,
another
another
Democrat,
Democrat.
but another liberal Democrat. Go ahead.
Right? She's backing Sutton. I
Another,
mean, this
who
girl,
her his people right donated to her campaign right
she
because she
she's
had no opponent. Go ahead, I'm listening.
she's not one of us. Everybody thinks she's one of us. You know, they voted in because she was the only Russian lady there. I believe that number one, I am looking for a candidate to run against Kalman Yeager.
Yes.
I'm really hoping it would be me, but the truth of the matter is, I don't want to take a chance
Well, I've heard
and
that
lose
there are
this seat.
candidates out there right now running against Kalman Yeager. There is one candidate already announced that is running. So I know that there are people certainly looking at that race, and I don't think they're going to be discouraged by insiders, inside sources that may want to support Mr. Yeager. So I am sure that there will be people, in addition to one candidate already running against Kalman Yeager.
Right, right. So my question is, we're not only talking. You see, I'm talking local politics now,
Yes.
but the problem is what you people don't understand is your local politicians are hired to fight the big guys, to stop them from abusing their privileges of ticketing blocks, of letting these inspectors go
That goes
wild.
back to what you said earlier about, oh, this person's a nice guy, this
Right,
person's a
they
nice
all have
guy
to
for a
make believe
person,
they're
but guess
nice
what? They're
guys.
not doing the job.
Yeah, right. They talk to you so nice on the phone. You know, I was talking to one inspector, and he says to me, "Oh, I'm retiring soon." And but you know, this I said, but you know, you did wrong. You're filing wrong violations.
Right, right,
He
right.
says, "Listen, I'm retiring soon. This is what they tell me to do." I said, "But if you see you're doing wrong, you tell your boss you're doing wrong." I tell people when they're doing something wrong how to fix it. I
Yep.
tell my partners and their workers, you're doing something wrong. I don't care if you're religious, Muslim, black, you're doing something wrong, you do something wrong. At a closing, you're doing something wrong.
Yep.
You know, I have a guy now who bought a house. I'm not really involved. I helped him with his violations, his
Mm-hmm.
plans, his permits, legalized the place. Right before he's selling the house, I did a thorough examination for him, and they brought their engineer. And they found that there was some waistline outside the building that there was some issue with, that had a belly on it.
Mm-hmm.
No real issue with the house, and no real issue even with the waistline. So they started to bargain with the guy. So we said, listen, I'm telling you that it's no proper. I'm willing to guarantee it, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And finally, we told them we're not going to sell them. I told my owners, don't sell them the house.
Okay.
They came back to the owner. They said, negotiate. My owner said, listen, my expediter, architect, and legal advisor said, no way. Anyways, they finally agreed to make the sale, to buy the building.
Right.
We sit down at closing. The guy calls me from the closing that they're holding back $30,000, and the lawyers are there from both sides. The banks are there, unless they give him the 30,000 discount for this issue. I
Mm.
told my guy it's not an issue with the DOB. It's not a violation. It's not any non-compliant issue. I said pull out of the DOB and pull out from this thing, and I will sue this guy forever. And they threatened they'll put a list pendants on the building to keep everybody in court for a year. These are what people do. They trick you with no
And
honor.
I think that that goes back to the point of the local politicians not helping the average person. But, I want to talk about Ina Vernikoff, but in a different way
Oh,
because,
well, Tom, you know I'm in Florida.
yep,
So you see I'm wearing a suit and tie.
I
I'm
am.
not wearing slippers. I am
You're out there
wearing.
ready to work. Listen, you should be now having a drink in your hand. You're toe in the
I know.
sand. You
I know.
should be
I should
doing those
have.
things. Hopefully, you do that after the show. But I
After the
want to
show.
talk about the fact that while Ina Vernikoff is not doing her job and trying to discourage people from running for office and supporting liberal Democrats and murderers at the same time, apparently we have Bruce Blakeman has entered the race for governor for the Republican nomination. And I think it's great because I think that Elise Stefanik is a loser. I think that she's going to lose
No,
by 20
no,
points or more. No,
no.
I think that if she's got the Brooklyn GOP support and those elected officials, she's lost. Bruce Blakeman, the fact that Trump is trying to discourage him from running tells me that Bruce Blakeman has a far better chance at winning the Republican, not only nomination, but getting elected to be the next governor rather than Elise Stefanik. I'm
I
just going to put it
agree.
out there.
I agree that if Bruce Blakeman becomes the nominee, I think he'll crush Hochul in any
Yep.
debate. and
He
he
would.
will win. I like Stefanik as well. The only reason I like Stefanik is because if she will get more money than Blakeman, she will raise bigger money, more
Yeah, but I
money, and
think
get
that to
more
me,
exposure.
she's just she's a loser. I got to be honest. I mean, with Ina's support and the Brooklyn GOP support, that's already a losing campaign. Blakeman comes from a place where he knows how to get votes, and he's battle tested. He's won tough races. He's a businessman in his own right, and it's going to be a very difficult year for Republicans. In fact, I heard from
One minute,
somebody
one
that was
minute.
complaining about my take on the Republicans next year. Well, newsflash, you saw where Heshy is in Miami right now. They just elected a Democrat mayor. Georgia, Democrat flipped a seat. Trump won by double digits. The economy's not doing that great. I hate to tell everybody that. And I think that it's going to be a very difficult year for Republicans. And the
now,
way to
now,
combat that
now, I
is to
want
get a guy
now.
like
Now
Bruce.
it's my
I'm
turn.
going to tell you the truth. And that people
One
don't
minute,
want to
one
hear
minute,
it. But
Tom, it's my turn. First of all, the economy is doing great.
no, it's
Okay,
not. It's not
stop.
doing
One minute.
great. If it
I
was
didn't
doing great,
interrupt
the
you.
Republicans would be winning all these races, and they're
I didn't
not.
interrupt you. One minute. The economy, the market's doing great. Prices are down. Things are more affordable, from gas to eggs to bread to even rents are not jumping up
But
like crazy.
inflation continues to
Okay,
be a
one minute.
problem. I
But
disagree that the
we're
economy
able,
is doing great. It's
but
doing middling.
one minute. We're able to get more supplies, more. Of course, we are now starting to do this stuff in New York instead of bring it in from other countries. Yes, you're right. The tariffs are raising some of the prices, but people in the United States are getting jobs. Unemployment is down in the black community, in the white community, in the Asian community.
But I
Don't you
just
think
heard that
that's more
unemployment
important?
actually is a problem right now, at the moment.
I did. Then you didn't see the numbers. Look,
Well, we'll see about that.
Even the Fed lowered by a quarter point interest rates because the
Yeah, the
inflation.
Fed lowered interest rates. I think that that is something that they fought with doing, and I think that next year they're not going to probably lower interest rates as much as people would like. So that'll
Well,
be an interesting dynamic.
next year, March or April, Powell won't be there, and President Trump is going to put somebody in that will do exactly the right thing
But I
and
don't
lower the
think
interest
going
rate.
back to 1% interest rates is also good either. I think you
I
have to have
disagree
some
with
type
you.
of balance.
More housing will be built. More people will be able to buy their apartments. I want people to. I see you people want to buy stuff cheap or take away from the rich. I'm not interested in that. I want people to be able to afford what they have now. By having a 7.25% or 7.5% interest rate on a loan, of course it's going to kill you on a million because an average apartment today
Yeah,
is
no,
eight
I
hundred
agree with you
thousand.
on that, but I don't think it should go
Wait,
back. But I think Trump wants to go back to zero. I don't think you
yeah,
can go back to
again,
zero either.
it's not zero. Zero still means 2 or 3% when you're borrowing money. It's like zero giving out to people who put their money in the banks. I don't really care about that. People still have to put their money in the banks. People still have bonds and stocks and other stuff. By having it at 1 or 2%, I don't believe it's going to go to zero. By having it that way, I'm able to say instead of paying my interest of $6,000 a month in interest, my interest rate now is 2,000 a month. Now I'm able to take that other 4,000 and pay off my loan earlier, or live a better life, or buy a nicer piece of furniture. That's the objective of this country.
Yeah, well,
I
I think
know
that, but I think right now, considering the
people,
way things are
but
with the
Tom,
debt, I don't
people
think
are
we're going to
saying,
get there
"Give
yet.
me." Tom, people are saying, "Give me free food, give me free housing."
Yeah, I
You
know, but it
don't,
shouldn't. But you have to work for that. Obviously,
but
I
you
agree
don't
with
need
you on
it.
that.
Let's tax the rich more and give the money to the poor. Why?
That's a terrible.
Let's
That's a
help.
terrible idea. But I think my problem with the economic approach in the second Trump administration has been that these tariffs are basically a form of government regulations, and we should be getting out of people's way, lowering taxes. I think that the big beautiful bill raises the debt and the deficit too much. And I think that these tariffs, people don't understand them. And it obviously
No,
seems to be a problem in all these elections because Democrats are running on that. And I think next year is going to be a problem because it's not a simplified approach. The approach
you
should
are
have been just
having
get out of the way, lower taxes, and not this goofy tariff idea.
you
It's a
are
form
you
of
are
socialism.
you are having issues when Trump was running for election, and I told you Trump was going to win with a landslide. Yes, I did say Slee was going to win because I knew when Donnie was going to win, but I kept saying it. The
Sweela,
problem
I
is,
mean, he's not Trump. Listen, Trump has got charisma. He ran
but I
he's a
believe
battle tested
and
winner.
I believe
Sweela's
the
a
national.
loser. Heshy, come on. His
I
Curtis
believe,
Sweela, I mean, he don't even have a job right now.
but I believe the National Republican Committee and all the people up there, they're doing a much better job than, of course, the local. Remember, the old Brooklyn GOP were all corrupt, taking money.
Absolutely, 100% on
Okay,
that. I mean,
the
there's just
big
no
boys,
denying
and
that.
again, all the organizations, the DNC and the RNC, the old Republican and Democrats, they were corrupt as well. Now they're being watched. Now they're being run properly. That's why things are getting better. I believe the Republicans are going to keep the House. They're going to keep the Senate, and Trump is going to do a great
I
job.
think they'll keep the Senate, but I think the House is looking like they have a major problem right now in the House. I think the Senate,
Now,
because they have 53, I think the math favors Republicans at the very least to be at 50, like 51, maybe 50, and Vance is
well,
the tiebreaker. But I think the
right,
House is going to be very difficult. Remember, the House is they only have a small majority. So you're talking
right.
about it's going to be difficult for them to keep the House. Listen,
And
I
by the
said it
way,
last week on the show. They got 6 months to get this right. They got to
right.
get back on track. Trump has been great on the border. He's been great on foreign policy. That's the Donald Trump that we had.
But
I just think the economic approach I don't agree with. I mean, that's
well,
that.
I just want to tell you that I disagree with you, and I disagree with you on Stefanik because just like you said,
Bruce
Blake Backman,
Blakeman. Let me say it for you nicely. Bruce Blakeman.
Bruce Blakeman, you're saying he's battle tested. So
Yes, he
is
won
Stefanik.
in a place where there's
She's she's
110,000 more
never lost
Democrats than
an
Republicans.
election. She's always worked hard in the Congress.
Did she
She's
endorse your campaigns?
no,
Then
but
to
not even
me,
Trump.
I'm not gonna go carry her water. She's not gonna win. She's just not gonna win.
Well,
Blakeman
well,
is battle tested. He's won before.
we're gonna see who's gonna win the nomination.
I
And you're
hope there's a
saying
primary. I agree with you. I think primaries are a healthy thing. I believe in that. I know Hochul said, oh, they're going to fight about being MAGA. But I think to me, Blakeman's got the organization. I think the Nassau County
what are the
GOP.
numbers? What are the numbers against Hochul and Blakeman? Stefanik, we know, is behind about
Well,
9 or 10
Blakeman hasn't
points.
been polled against Hochul, so I wouldn't be able to answer that. I know there's varying polls. One poll came out the other day that said Hochul was ahead of Stefanik by 20 points. But you can't believe polls. But I will tell you right now, if it's going to be a Democratic year, I don't think anybody's beating Hochul. I got news for you. I mean, to
I don't
me,
think so. I think Hochul's going to get the city. She's going to lose upstate and all around, and people are going to come out. I believe they're going to come out. I mean, you see that the Democrats just won. How much did they beat Cuomo by? Let's be honest with each other. How much what did he beat him by? 2 points, 3 points?
it was 8 points.
He beat Cuomo by 8 points.
Mamdani
Usually
won by 8 points.
okay, but usually the Democrats, and he got 51%. The point is the Democrats usually win 63-37. So that when the
Hmm.
Republicans do want to come out, they can beat the
But my
Democrats.
concern is that Republicans haven't been coming out. Look at New Jersey.
Yeah.
Citarelli ran, for all intents and purposes, a great campaign and lost by 14 points in a state that's much more friendlier to Republicans than New York. And I just look at it, Stefanik, she doesn't have the organization. Blakeman, to me, and I don't think Blakeman's going to win either. I think he'd have a better chance at winning. Listen, me personally, I like Larry Sharp more than Bruce Blakeman or Stefanik because I think Larry Sharp is the kind of person that would do the right things like you, Heshy, in an honest way. But realistically speaking, I think for the Republican ticket, the best candidate would be Bruce Blakeman.
Okay, we got that out of the way. I just want to talk about a few other things.
We got a lot to
Um,
talk about here on the show, and your show, Heshy Tisha. By the way, if you are here in the chat and you're watching this, hit that sub button and tell your friends, their family to hit the sub button. Follow Heshy on TikTok. Follow him on Instagram because the way that Heshy can keep doing this show and growing the show is by more people subscribing so more people can watch us. So please do that because it's very important because
you
Heshy's
know,
been losing subscribers on YouTube. We need to fix that. I have a bunch of people here in this chat. Do me a favor, hit that notification. This is the
well,
only show that gives you honest, unbiased talk when it comes to local,
that's
state,
right.
and national
No,
politics.
and also on policy and what you need help with.
Yes.
That girl Yarimi. Like I want to
Let's talk
talk from
about
the
that. That's a
beginning of the
good
show.
topic, Heshy.
And now it's not that I want you to know I've been doing a lot of research, and there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people that have made mistakes with their cars, have killed. There was, car accidents are one of the biggest, I think the third biggest killer in New York
Yeah, I
City.
heard that before. I did hear
So
that
what do
once.
you?
Yep.
So if you want, don't tell me that nobody was texting, or nobody made a mistake, or I mean, what you just picked on the wrong person, and I don't believe that 3 to 9 years is good. I know she's there for 3 years. I'm going to see that I do. I know I wasn't really for her, but I
Yeah,
think
we spoke about this when it happened in the spring. Yep.
I'm changing my ways, and I want to give her a shot. To everybody's entitled to a second chance. Maybe she'll do the full 3 years, but I don't believe. And the parole board is going to be scared to let her out the first time, which is wrong. If she does the right thing and she's a model inmate, let her go. What do you think? What
Well,
do you
she's
think,
what is she,
audience?
like 32 years old or something like that? So
Yeah, but
ultimate,
keeping her in there 9 years is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
I think. Look, I mean, ultimately, it's one of those things. I think that Ocean was Ocean Parkway, right around Quinton Road. I mean, it's a place I've crossed the street
I
many
know.
times. So
But again, it's I've been listening to the different reports and I've done the research. They
right,
don't really know how fast she was going. One person said she was going 50, the other person said she was going 70 and 80, the other person said she was drunk, one person said she was drugged up, one person said she's selfish. Now listen to me. There's no way you're going 80 on Ocean Parkway. I see cops driving like animals. I see ambulances. I see
right.
people
Yeah, I've been
driving
on
all the
Ocean
time,
Parkway many
cutting people
times. Yeah,
off,
yeah, yeah.
people blocking their plates. So basically, she did 50 miles an hour. She wasn't drunk. That's a fact. They took her blood alcohol. They did not get her for DWI. She wasn't on drugs.
So are
Yes, her
you saying
license.
her sentence is political?
Yeah, no questions about it. And it's not only hers. I'm trying to show you that when we want to come get you, we will come get you. There's a murderer, a guy who murdered somebody, an immigrant. You heard about this?
Yes.
After 3 years. After 3 years, he got out after murder. Really? Really? Are
Well, I
you?
mean, listen, now correct me if I'm wrong. The district attorney of Kings County is Eric Gonzalez, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Eric, we talk about it being political, right? Eric Gonzalez is talked about as a lieutenant governor candidate
But
alongside Kathy Hochul. So
and
there's no
but he's
question to
not.
me that
He's
obviously there could be some motivation with
no,
Eric
no,
Gonzalez in a
no,
base. And there's
no.
politics always involved with these things. Come on, let's be honest.
Eric Gonzalez fought too hard to get to be DA. He was a nobody nothing, and he fought too hard to be here. He's not going to give up his DA ship for maybe 4 years of a lieutenant governor. He's not going to do that, and he likes the power of a DA.
Well, if he's lieutenant
Plus,
governor for 4 years, he could be the next governor afterwards. To be fair,
okay,
I mean, that's
again,
a powerful position. Let's be
he,
honest.
he's not a young guy. He's in his late 50s or early 60s. Check it out. And
Yeah.
he's not gonna do it. Plus, Eric Gonzalez is scared of his own shadow. Every time the mayor or a big rabbi or
Exactly
somebody
why
puts
Kathy Hochul would want to appoint somebody to be lieutenant governor. That's exactly
exactly,
why she might
exactly.
want to check
And
him off a box.
and Gonzalez likes being the boss. He wants to be the guy who gets on the video screen. I arrested 7 drug dealers,
All right,
and
so the
he's
main thing
waiting.
is that you want to fight for this woman because you don't agree with the charges and you think that there could be some calculation here.
I think she should be punished. She should be fined a lot. Or, I mean, like OJ, money for a long period of time. Even though she'll never work, whatever. She should lose her license for
Mm.
10 years. She should never be allowed to have a car. Yes, there are punishments. Yes, she should have done a time in jail. But again, I don't know what the time is, but to sentence her 3 to 9, give her a regular sentence, a normal
I don't
sentence.
know enough about the individual, but I think obviously you know a lot about it. There's something I want to talk about local with you that is really been on my mind lately is the casinos. Now, we didn't get a chance to talk about it last week on the show, but we have licenses now that are going to be going out to a few places. Queens is one of them, where the Mets play, another one in the Bronx. And I'd be curious, Heshy, if you and I agree on this or not. What is your thoughts on casinos now coming to New York City?
I don't even have to tell you. I hate casinos. It brings prostitution. It brings
100% agree
crime.
with you on
It
that.
brings
100%
drugs.
agree.
And where they want to put the Brooklyn casino is, you're right. It's a bad area. It's getting better. It's not a great area, but as it is, we put in a stadium there. We have rides. We put in a community that's gated in. My community is only 10 minutes away. Russians have been coming. It's going to take another 10, 15, 20 years. where they want to put that casino, it's going to destroy that community. It's going to bring more crime to those projects. It's going to lower values. Yeah, I know that I don't want casinos at all in New York City.
I agree
I
with you
believe
100% on that. To me, they're
gambling is
just
a bad
schemes to
thing.
create
And if you
revenue.
want to get,
100% agree with you, Heshy.
and if you want to gamble, go on your phone and gamble. Go on your phone and go to a website and gamble. Go to Las Vegas. I mean, you're going to Vegas. What's a ticket today? They'll give you a free ticket. Two, three, $400. Go to Vegas.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I think casinos are a bad idea, and I want to blast specifically the one in Queens where the Mets play because Steve Cohen, he talked all this talk about the Mets this, the Mets that, and he gave out all this money to all the politicians locally in that area, and now the Mets do nothing. He's got his money, and he's going to basically walk away and with billions in his pocket. It's a scam, and I think all the casinos, the one they want to put in the Bronx, the other one by Aqueduct, to me, gambling, Heshy, I remember a
Did you see?
time.
One minute. You know that AOC didn't fight the casinos? Why is that?
Oh, because he was contributing to this person and that person, and it's all about the money trail. What do they always say, Heshy? Follow the money trail. But to me, when it comes to these schemes, gambling is a terrible idea, and what it comes down to is the city just wants to generate revenue on the backs of poor people. They talk about helping the working class. They talk about helping the poor. Who is going to be the people that will most be going to these casinos, Heshy?
You know who they are, the poor people. But
Exactly. And the city talks
you
about
know,
helping them time and time again. But this is a scheme where they're going to take their money, rob Peter to pay Paul. Come on.
right.
This is
You know,
terrible.
our whole show, we've been talking about how people are getting tricked to watch out for themselves, not to get conned. I got it. So you know what? Maybe the politicians, we're tricking all of you. The politicians are not so bad.
They're not
Let's go
tricking
to
you and I. They're tricking
the,
the people that vote for them.
right.
That's the
But
obvious point.
do you know what about the Minnesota fraud? You know, with
Yes.
the Somalians. You know, you
Yes.
have that idiot. What's her name again? You know the name.
The one that Trump was saying first he liked her, and then we have to get her out.
Right.
Ilhan Omar, right?
Right, Ilian, idiot, whatever, Omar. And she always says that how we Somalians, it's not we Somalians, we Americans, and there's so much fraud going on in Minnesota. And it's just,
Well,
and
that
I
goes
heard
back
that,
to Obama because remember years ago, Obama basically let them all in scot
right,
free. I mean,
but they're
and that's
cheating
where I do
people.
agree with Trump. Trump has got his hands tied behind his
Right.
back with Obama and Biden's policies there. Yeah, I agree with
But
you on the Minnesota fraud.
These Somalians are committing fraud. And Tim Walz, that governor who ran for vice president, I
Yes.
hear he's part of a fraud or two. You know that?
Oh my God, Tim Walz. He's one of the. When I hear that guy speak, Heshy, he's like one of the worst. I thought Kalman was a bad speaker, but I hear when Walz
Yeah.
speaks, oh my God, that
His
voice.
daughter, his daughter got on Instagram or YouTube and started crying. Oh, you're making fun of my daddy. Oh, he's in politics and you're making fun of me. Listen, girlie, my children take it, and I'm not even elected.
This country dodged such a bullet by him alone being vice president. You do realize that, right?
Right,
Just
right.
hearing that man speak and the way he comes across. That's why I hate politicians.
Yeah. Well, you love me. Oh, but I was never elected, so
You haven't
that's
got elected.
okay.
Actually, you haven't got elected. I mean, to be honest, we don't know what you would have turned out like. We'd like to find out. I mean, obviously, we're certainly hoping that you still keep your options open. You might be running for the assembly as a point
No,
that
no.
you brought up.
I'll be honest with you. I really would like to run, but the odds right now are 60-40 against me.
Mm-hmm.
But I am waiting for the city council seat. I am opening up a committee soon. So no matter what,
Well, city
I
council, I
will.
think, is obviously definitely opening up in a few years, and I think you
Right.
mentioned that. And maybe Heshy, you'll win the lottery because maybe Vernikova will somehow be appointed to be the lieutenant governor candidate with Stefanik. Maybe she'll beat Blakeman in a primary, and somehow, in some way, she'll get elected as governor, and there'll be a special election, next March 27. Who knows? I don't know, Heshy.
Or Ina takes out a gun, shoots somebody by mistake, negligent homicide, and goes to
I
jail.
still don't know how she wasn't censored. I just, to
I don't know
me,
how she wasn't arrested and charged with a crime. If
if
you and
that
I
was
had
anybody
that,
else, I mean, listen, Heshy, if that was you, I mean, we would be talking to you from Sing Sing right now.
Correct. Carrying a gun, carrying license, not licensed, at a protest, endangering. They would have done something. Again, I don't know. I don't want my producer to get angry at me, but she
No,
must have
he's
slept with
actually
somebody.
saying that this is the best show you've ever done because you're in Florida and he's waiting for that first class ticket that you're gonna send him
You
after
like
the
my
show.
tan?
And he
By the
thought
way,
it was the funniest joke you ever said on the air in 7 years.
do you like my tan?
Heshy, you mean you look like $1,000,000? I mean, you look like obviously that you got your like I said tomorrow you have your drink in your hand, toe in the sand, and we'll see you from where you're going to be. I mean, I'm excited for you. I'm happy for you though, Heshy. I'm happy for you that you get out from the hustle and bustle and you get out and you get to enjoy yourself. I'm happy for you.
Thank you. And I'm so happy we had a good show. I'm in
Well, we got
Florida.
another 10 minutes. We got another 10 more minutes. So I mean, we still got
No,
some
it's
time,
it's
and
not that I'm stopping the show. I just want to tell everybody that I'm thanking everybody. I'm going to recuperate. Again, I did hurt my rib, and my leg, but my leg is better. And my children are saying, "Doctor, I do go to the doctors, but this one it
well,
bothers
you
me that
played
I
the
think."
board game operation, so that technically would count.
So I believe that I'm going to recuperate. I just need a couple of days, and that's why I'm doing the show no matter what. I'm still helping my office. They call me every 12 minutes, even though I told them not to bother me. I
Right.
haven't taken a vacation in 5 years, but it's okay. I am pleased to tell you that I'm recuperating slowly. I have my brother's going to be angry at me. I put the swimming pool at 104 degrees.
Well, now
It's
why would
raw.
you do that? 104
Oh,
degrees. Why would you
it's
do that?
who wants to go into a cold ocean or cold pool?
I don't think you
I
have to do
want.
104 degrees. Couldn't you did like 95,
That's what he
92?
that's what he told me, 93, but
I
it
think
was too
that's I
cold.
have a pool. I always want to keep it not that hot. I mean, 104. What are you
No,
trying to do?
my
Burn
rib was
everybody in
my
there?
rib
Are
was
you trying to
my
burn the people that you don't like?
what people? It's only me and Linda.
All right. Well, anybody that may want to come in the pool, I don't know. I mean, 104 degrees, Heshy boy. That's
Come on, you've never gone to a jacuzzi?
I've never been in a jacuzzi, no. But I've had a pool since I'm in high school, so I mean I know what that's
Okay.
like. I mean I
Well,
couldn't tell
all I
you,
know,
you know.
I just know is I'm very pleased to be here. I like the Miamians, but I miss New York. I miss my sandwiches. I miss just walking
You're
to the
not missing the
stores.
weather this week. We had like the coldest day yesterday we've had like ever. It's funny. I want to talk about that for a
I
minute.
was there. I was there Monday. I
Well, no, but
know.
Tuesday was even colder. But I want to talk about this for all the people that say, "Oh, climate change, global warming." Have you not seen the last few days yet? What's going to be after this week? I mean, we're talking about temperatures that we haven't seen for this time of the year ever. I mean, for
But
all the people that say, "Oh my God, it's so cold,
I've
hot,
been
and this,
saying
it'll never be."
yeah.
Well, guess what? You
I
got it.
I've been saying that forever. And if you go upstate, there's 10 inches of snow already, and it's
Buffalo,
only
it snowed. I was
November.
watching the Bills game on Sunday, and it was snowing there. Yep.
So whatever, and climate change, the Midwest, Florida, yeah, it gets a little hot. Florida's always gotten hot, and that's the way it is. Again, money, sucking our money, sucking us dry, billing it out, and we need somebody like Doge. But now I hear Doge shut down. That's a problem,
I
no?
agree with you. And that was something else that I was upset about because I thought with Musk and Doge that was a great, and that's where I kind of think the economy went south a little bit. And I think that was Musk's disagreement with Trump. That's kind of where I fall along the same lines because I think the tariffs and I think that even the debt increase with the big beautiful bill. I think Doge was in there to take that away and to make sure we would get on track, fiscally. And I think those are things that I do disagree with. I agree with Trump on a number of things, but I do disagree with him on his approach with the economy. And I think right now voters they always vote in their pockets. And right now you may be doing well, Heshy. I may be doing well, even though I don't agree
Yeah.
with some of the things in the stock market, but there are a lot of people that aren't right now.
Well, on our last and final topic,
Yes.
DeSantos, the governor, which I don't understand why they have term limits in Florida. New York, they should have term limits on governing.
We should have term limits for the governor in New York. I agree with you
and
on that.
and everybody. But they say DeSantos is going to run for president, and he's very voter friendly. Now, my question too is will he run against JD or not?
I think he will because what does he have to lose? I mean, obviously, look, we know he ran for president a couple years ago, and I think that he wants the seat. He's certainly done a good job in Florida. You're there right now. And I think it's not going to just be DeSantis that runs for
Right.
president. I think there's going to be several candidates that want to run as well. I think that, Glenn Youngkin, maybe of Virginia. I know Trump is talking about maybe appointing him instead of Kristi Noem. I think Glenn Youngkin's going to definitely want to run for president. I think you're going to probably want to see a number of other people that come out. Ted Cruz has talked about it. Ted Cruz has run before for president. I mean, there's going to be probably several other candidates that may want to run for president.
What about Rubio? Rubio works for
Rubio's a name
JD.
that would probably be a potential, a
But I
great
don't think
candidate. Yep.
Rubio. I don't think Rubio would go against JD. They seem like good friends.
But I think Ted Cruz is running for president. He's run before, and Ted Cruz is definitely somebody that needs a firebrand.
Ted Cruz was pretty good the first time till he screwed it up. And then when he didn't apologize, he's now looks like I like Ted Cruz,
So do I.
but I think that he's not electable anymore.
I don't know. I mean, I think that I just, you know what? It's a good point. I do think electability Republicans count for in the primary. Before we go and finish this topic, I want to say goodbye to our listeners on the Talkline Radio Network, WJPR, where Heshy is right now, 1640 AM, our flagship WSNR, 620 AM, and also the legendary rock and roll radio station, Once Upon a Time, 1027 FM, WNEW. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's Just Enough Heshy show with Heshy in beautiful Miami, Florida, me, Tom, and the producer holding it down here in even more beautiful Borough Park. We'll see you next week. But no, I think there's going to be a lot of candidates. I think the governor of North Dakota is probably a candidate out there. They've talked about him. I think certainly Glenn Youngkin, I would say, throw out there. I mean, there'll be, tons of candidates. Tim Scott, they talked about last time. I don't think much about him. But, there'll probably be, numerous candidates that come up. Because I think with Trump, remember, Heshy, this will be the first time that Trump can't run again. I mean, he's really not running for another term, despite out there.
Everybody even says he's going to, but you know what? There's going to be a lot of Kennedys running. There's a Kennedy, a young guy over here who's a blogger or whatever. He's going to be running.
Yes.
For Congress. Then there's another Kennedy who's running, I think, for
it's funny
governor.
you talk about Congress because Dan Goldman, who I know you and I are no fan of, apparently is getting a primary now from Brad Lander. It seems like the Democrats, the liberal left-leaners, the nut jobs are now uniting behind Brad Lander against Dan Goldman.
Good.
Brad Lander or Dan Goldman, it's almost like pick your poison. It's almost
I know that. And you see Dan Goldman has done nothing.
Obviously, but I mean, it's a pick your poison. I mean, that's
the Kennedys,
a terrible loss.
I wanted to bring this last topic up. The Kennedys is a Kennedy running for governor. So now this is the year the Schlossbergs and the Kennedys, which is the grandchildren and nephews of John F. Kennedy, they're starting to get to be 30, 40 years old. I really would have loved to see John Jr. as president or senator.
I know, John Jr., that was probably, he was the best one after JFK. I mean, he would have done good. I mean, I like RFK on certain things, but, I think JFK,
that's what I was going to tell you. You know that the Democrats have filed impeachment articles against RFK?
Well, it's got to be personal for them because a Kennedy working for a Republican and a Republican in Trump. I think that's got to be almost
it doesn't make sense.
It
doesn't make sense. It's never going to happen. They're never going to win. And they're spending money in the tens of thousands or millions of dollars.
I think it's just to prove a point. No, I'm with you. Listen, and I think RFK, I like some of the things he said. And, in full disclosure, I petitioned for him when he was running for president. So, I mean, obviously, I might be partially biased, but I think RFK, it's to me personal. It's just because
I like him. He's doing it.
For Trump.
I think he's doing a great job.
Yeah, no, I think he's done a lot of good things. No, I agree with you on RFK. I like his point about, we've talked about it in the past with food and changing that, how they're processed and, getting people healthy. I think those are things that people should be. It's, to me, Heshy, an abomination that in this country, there's so many people that are out of shape. There's so many people that don't want to get off their couch and improve. I mean, I hate to steal Curtis's line, but improve to move. I mean, everything else Curtis said was terrible, but I think as a country, we should try to improve to move. And I think that, RFK, he has that mindset. I mean, I think that, people should want to do those things. But listen, it's people, the Democrat left going after him and impeaching RFK. It's a personal thing, Heshy, bottom line.
Anyways, it was good seeing you. I'm happy you joined me. I'm happy you let me back into my studio while you're
No,
sitting in
no,
my
actually, it's the
chair.
producer that lets you back in because the producer, he could cut our mics off at any time. So I think really, Heshy, we need to owe a debt of gratitude to our producer and obviously thank him for letting us be here in this, well, me here in the studio and you in beautiful sunny Miami, Florida.
I love you, everybody. We'll see you next Wednesday. Play that music.
Yes, thank you, everybody. Have a great night and we'll see you next week.
Good night, Tom.
Good night, Heshy. Good night. Oh, I hung up. Okay, I'll take my headphones off.
Wednesday night, we're all in sight. 9 o'clock, it's shining bright. Turn the dial and feel the might. Just enough Heshy takes flight. Woo! Laughs and wisdom side by side. Heshy show won't be denied. Tune in live and ride the tide. Feel the rush and feel the pride. It's just enough Heshy. Wanna vote for Heshy? It's just enough Heshy. Join the crowd, it's messy.